Welcome to episode 100 of Rollfare. So as always,
way to make it weird.
made it weird. As always, we will introduce ourselves. I am Devin, the Dungeon Master.
I'm Ryan, playing Altan or Rosu or Seph, the tiefling warlock disguised as a human.
Not complicated at all. I'm Brad, playing Arden the wizard.
I'm Kayla, playing Kaiji, the Tabaxi pirate.
I'm Austin, playing Sheru the turtle.
I'm Ben, playing Raina, the mentally unstable human ranger.
And I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Asara, the fire genasi sorcerer.
Perfect. Well, for episode 100, we're excited to see what happens.
Level 5?
No. Level 5 is a long way off.
Level 6.
Even further.
Level 10, okay.
Yeah. Keep dreaming.
We're revealing everybody's backstory.
Ready to go.
But last time, the party made it into Kashako after traveling on the Riddling Sphinx for 9 days. And they have made it to the tavern called the Chiseled Block, which is a sort of safe house for Orun Izorm members in the city, where they are not the prevailing thieves guild. And so they met with Masan Den, who revealed that there were some bounties out for a tiefling by the name of Seph. The bounty is held by the Unseen Hand, among some other smaller bounties. And the party has retired to their room, at least for this part of the day. It's about noon at this point, and we'll pick up from there.
The moment the door is shut. Who in the depths is Seph?
I mean, it was pretty obvious Altan wasn't my real name, right?
Sure. Why not? Who is Seph?
I believed you.
I am,
I thought that was your real name.
well, I've been using it for quite a while, so it feels like that a little bit, but I had to use a different name since I fled Kushako a few months back. I told you about that. And so I've just been trying to stay a little in the shadows, I guess you could say, but haven't been too good at that, I guess. If they've heard, I've been spotted in the Oasis.
Is Seth actually your real name?
Yes.
6?
That's 9.
Oh, 9.
I guess you believe me. I don't know.
I will also insert that.
I'm telling the truth. At this point, I don't see any reason to lie about that.
Do you want us to call you Seth after we leave the city, or just...
Oh, please
No.
don't. No. Not unless we can get rid of this bounty, which I don't really see any good way of doing except for paying off my debts and somehow also getting them to forgive me for what else they're upset with me about.
What else?
Well, I'm trying to remember what I've told you. I told you that I had a job or a opportunity, and I borrowed some money to try to make it happen.
Let me actually clarify a couple things. I've added some things that I haven't shared with you. Sorry. You, the person that you hired, was trying to break into the Genturum Sanctum to obtain this amulet, and they were caught.
Yep.
So you do know that.
I know they were caught,
Genturum
yeah.
Sanctum.
Okay, I don't think I would share that anyways. But
You see floating.
But I just want to make that a note because I mentioned it already to the group.
okay.
You see floating blue letters in front of Arden that just says, "I picked the wrong time to not speak."
You're still trying to be quiet?
Yeah.
You don't have to not speak. You have to not cast magic. Are those the same thing for
So
you?
it was just, all he's doing is waving his hand because it's just a...
You know, this is actually
semantic.
kind of nice, just with Arden being quiet.
It's been strangely quiet. I feel like I'm missing something.
So,
You two are meant for each other. Yes?
Actually, yeah, because you just mentioned the Chinturn Sanctum last time, so...
Mhm.
Okay, good to know. So this job, I'll give you a little more... I'll try to explain what happened. I am not a thief. I am pretty terrible at being a thief, I think. I don't know. I have never really tried. I haven't wanted to try. I'm just a broker. I'm a fence. I help thieves unload their goods to folks who want to, acquire them. And I heard about this amulet or necklace that someone was very, very, very interested in buying, to the extent that I could just retire for life with what I'd make off of that deal. So I took a loan from the Unseen Hand to hire a thief to go retrieve it for me, and they got caught. And I stupidly tried to talk my way out of it with the individual who originally hired me for this, and they tried to kill me, so I killed them. It was an accident. That was the first time I've ever really been in a situation like that, but that's when I fled Kushaku.
You said this took place in the Jinturum Sanctum, right?
Yeah, and since Masan mentioned that, it makes me wonder if any trinkets of value that they want us to acquire there might.
That's just my issue, is that you took a loan out from the Unseen Hand to essentially steal something from what we believe, if Masan's information is correct, probably belonged to the Unseen Hand.
Maybe. I don't know if
It just seems a little fishy to me from the start, which...
Well, I didn't really,
you might have been...
provide a lot of information to the Unseen Hand when I borrowed the money. I just explained that
I was under the
opportunity.
impression that, they were aware of the
But I don't think...
the caper
I
that
don't
you
know
were
if
involved
Masan... With what Masan said, I don't know if it necessarily means that the Chintorum Sanctum is part of the Unseen Hand.
Go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. 7, 8.
Okay. You don't know a lot about the Jinturum Sanctum. The one thing that you do know is that it is run by the Jinturum family, and specifically there's a well-known philanthropist of the area by the name of Kembish Jinturum, and he's kind of the head of the family.
It does really make me interested in seeing what's there. I think I've certainly, gained a lot of skills since then. I feel like we have a pretty good chance, potentially, of sneaking in, and I know if that amulet is there, it is extremely valuable.
Well, it's not like you have a friend with padded feet that can turn invisible.
Yeah, you're certainly a much better thief than the fool I hired.
I'm flattered.
The person you killed, are they of any significance, I guess? Because, just wondering.
I know they were very rich.
Go ahead and make a history check.
Oh boy. Well, I'm also trying to decide how much to share. 13.
Okay. You know that this person was an arcanist of the College of Kaiboa. And they had been thrown out of the Jinturum Sanctum, which is why you were hired to possibly get this item.
Okay. Sherry, I think I've shared a little with you. We kind of wondered if this patron or whatever it is that's giving me this power, they actually first employed this individual. Why am I forgetting his name now?
I've got it right
It
here.
starts with a K.
It's a Kefeta Abet.
Yes. I think with me killing Kefeta, I caught this being's attention.
Interesting.
But really, Kefeta wanted that amulet for him, so I have no idea why, but so far seems to be working out pretty well. It's been making me stronger to help out, so maybe we just can find that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in.
Like, what's the worst that could happen, right?
The worst that could happen is we all end up dead, but it does make me curious on what this amulet might be and its significance. Also, is it the Sanctorium? Is it religious at all, or what is its purpose other than being a front?
I think basically what you said is just kind of a philanthropy sort of.
The gentleman
Right.
that runs it is a philanthropist. Based on your role earlier, you're not 100% sure what its purpose is.
So it's not something that...
Sar, you can make a roll if you'd like.
What am I rolling?
A history check based on your background.
Oh, do I get any advantage for that?
What does your background say?
History?
You're a sage, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I just have proficiency in it, that's all.
Well, you have like a special ability. I don't recall what the sage ability is.
I think
in your feature.
at this point, I'm also,
Good advice.
since we're just in the room, I've gone ahead and dropped the disguise because I feel like I can't concentrate on too many things at once right now. But, hey, maybe we should just capitalize on the bounty on me.
I had that thought. I was actually, I know Rainer has the Misty Step spell, but it's so fun to use. And he can disguise himself.
That is true.
I it's going to be really risky, though. There's the Unseen Hand is a really powerful fuse guild, and I'm sure they're not going to let me go very easily.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got it right here. Okay. So, go ahead and make a history check just based on the Sanctorum itself.
10.
10? I'll give you advantage.
Please, come on.
We all want to know.
Guidance.
Oh, guidance, too. I can do that.
Remember, I'm benevolent.
Remember these
17.
Okay.
times.
Again, just because of your background, you got advantage. But what you know about the Sanctum, it is the Genturum Sanctum specifically. It is, from what you've read in your books, it's been around for quite a while in Kashako, hundreds of years, and always safeguarded by the Genturum family. And it is here that relics of the past are often kept and held. You know that the Genturums are an ancient dragonborn family, and they're essentially, for lack of a better word, archaeologists of sorts, and they gather these relics from the days of the Pantheonic War, and they have many ancient heirlooms.
So Asab speaks up. I actually read in a book once a little bit about this, and I don't remember too much about the sanctorum themselves. It was just a small little paragraph. But it is run by a dragonborn family, and they collect ancient relics. And they have been doing this for centuries. And I know that my family has always been very interested in the inventory of relics. So
maybe we have a potential buyer then for some items there.
Kaiji has the ancient bow we found in the that temple.
There is that.
I'd hate to use it as a bargaining chip, though, because, it kind of seems like it comes in handy more for us.
It's true.
Not wrong. What is the... So you never infiltrated the sanctum, so you don't know what it looks like, what it is?
I mean, it'd be fun to go there and ask to learn about the artifacts they have. I mean, the history that's there, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun. But more than anything, if I'm going to get this amulet for you, I'd like to have some semblance of a plan.
Well, let's have me. Oh, because I want to go. And anyone who wants to
No.
see the sanctum, we'll scout out the sanctum and pick up on some any extra interesting information.
How about you two make out in front of the sanctum and cause a distraction?
No, but I will go with Arden to learn about these stuff.
Or that. You two are always good for a distraction.
Wait, I apologize. So, just to recap, we want to go rob the sanctum to, one, get trinkets to Masan, yes. And then two, to get enough money to pay off your bounty?
Well, if we can find that necklace, I know it's extremely valuable. So I would hope that it's enough that
Well, I mean, it's worth just looking at the stuff that's there. I mean, just think about that. All the valuable stuff that you can learn so much about.
Arden's eyes are wide and shaking his head yes, a lot.
The other thing I'm worried about is if your patron was looking for this in the first place and we find it and it ends up in your hands, are we going to have Mr. God of whatever your god is come in and... I don't know. What does he do?
I think I don't know what he does, but I think he said he'd reward me for it, so... That's good, right?
What exactly does your patron do?
I have no idea.
And you...
We should figure out what the amulet does before we hand it over to the unknown being.
Yeah, for all we know, it's going to open a door to allow some all-powerful archfey into the world, causing destruction.
I don't know if
What
you
was
devastation.
Malika worried about?
Malika, well, she was very similar to the vision that Reina received about noble sacrifices and basically the end of the world.
I think you got to remember,
should be
though,
careful.
as a fence, your job is to not ask questions.
If you need me to
Yes, please.
reshare what she said, I can. So here's Malika's
Doomsday.
prophecy. She said, "People of Nalia, the time has come to prepare for war. As the fat of your offerings burns a path to the heavens of Ifdalar,
Machinations.
Yes, there we go. Of corrupt mortals prepare the path for the return of Ilmalath. A festering hatred has schemed and begins to shoot forth buds for blossom. A corrupt religion works against you, digging its roots to drink all along the Maishanda. They will pollinate the blossoms of corruption as bees in the summer crop. The seed of the gods will be as dust before the wind in the face of the approaching destruction. A choice approaches, one that will grant liberation for generations to come, or will bind the inhabitants of this world to the will of their oppressors for an age. The scale of sacrifice will be demanded, not a sacrifice of flesh and blood, but of pure nobility, a sacrifice without guile, vengeance, or gain. Drive out the corruption of the false priests, unite together as one people for a darker force far beyond Ilmalath's ire will lay waste to Idel.
Right, so we don't want to start the apocalypse, is what I'm saying.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, luckily we have 2 head cases that, well, one of them apparently studied something related, and then the other one casts spells because he wants to know things.
I like knowing things. In fact, if you're talking about having an archphase come, that would be so fun. I would want to ask him so many questions.
I mean, considering what happened with the last Fae being we encountered,
He was interesting.
it could be, educational to say the least, but it also could be, our eyes could bleed out from our skulls.
I mean, I suppose it's
I
possible.
think really worst case is we just don't get as much gold as we were hoping for. I think this is a really good plan.
I think at the base minimum we go and check it out at least.
Do you still have invisibility prepared, Darton?
Shakes his head yes.
Or we just ignore the sanctum altogether. We've got other options. We have the Netsk Palace. There is
The College of Kaiboan.
Yeah, Kaiboam. We could, hang around a day outside the city and play bandits for on a few trade routes.
I mean, I don't like bandits. Remember the
Me
few times
either.
they attacked us on the road? That's just rude.
I think I'd rather rob from the rich, like the Sanctum. Right? They kind of deserve it more, don't they?
I mean, the
I
next
don't know.
family owns the Zujiri trading, so they're kind of rich as well, and I would like to give them a little stab in the back every now and then if I can.
That is quite tempting.
Anyway,
could.
I'm gonna go on a little field trip. Let me know what you guys decide. I'm gonna go check out this sanctum just because artifacts.
This is gonna be fun.
Be as innocent as possible, and for the love of the gods, if anyone comes at you with a knife, you hide in your shell. Got it?
I'll go with you, Sherry. I'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Altan.
now it's not gonna be fun because you know how to get around. Yeah, you guys were gonna lose Shrew for like days.
I want to check out the Sanctum too.
Are we all just gonna
Yeah, let's just
ride along on this field trip?
Well, I got an idea. We somehow make it seem like it was the Netsk. Is that how you say it? The Netsk?
The Netsk.
How do you say that?
Netsk.
Pearl with an S. Multiple
Netsk.
nets.
The net sky.
Yes.
It's the plural for
The
nets.
next guy. There we go.
We make it look like they robbed the Genturi Sanctum, and then when we rob them, we make it look like it's the Genturi.
You mean the fact that we can almost all of us change our faces?
Yeah, except I don't think we know what any of them look like,
Good point.
but we can figure that out. Or just plant some rumors. Or
I mean,
something.
it might be wise if we're going into the sanctum to scope around that we look as little like us as possible in the first place. Because new faces snooping around, and then something goes missing a day or two later, they kind of, really good at tracking that kind of thing.
Maybe we can get a look at some of the folks that go in and out and disguise ourselves as them.
In fact, I'd kind of suggest that we, if at all possible, don't look like ourselves any time we leave this room.
Follow-up question. Should I be invisible for 2 hours, courtesy of Arden, or should 2 of us be invisible for an hour, courtesy of Arden? Is it better if I go in myself for longer, or do we want me and Raynor?
I think probably better to have 2 people invisible for those who can't disguise themselves.
That's only me
I
and
thought
Asar.
we were just going to.
Yeah, we're going on a field trip.
Well, I mean, when we get to the point of going in.
Well, only me and Asar cannot disguise ourselves. Everyone else seems to be able to, and I'm a little jealous of that.
I think 5 of you can disguise yourselves, right? There's one if you got that mask.
I did.
Okay,
That's why I can do it.
gotcha. Misunderstood.
All good.
I've got a disguise kit, too.
Also,
Yeah,
There's no disguise.
Yeah,
like
it
this.
wouldn't help too much for a turtle. It might help a little bit for a fire genasi.
put a wig and a mustache on and nobody can tell the difference.
I've tried that once.
Mustache glasses.
I don't know. I'd have to somehow
Just make
figure out how
sure
to
no
make
one
your
in-
hair glow a little less.
Red
Yeah.
red hat and blue overalls come and smash him.
Let's go. Alright, I go to Altan. I don't know where it is.
I can show you.
Thank you.
I gotta put on my face real quick. And
Okay.
I'm that human again.
So you guys get all disguised as you see fit, and you head out. And one thing that you notice as you are traveling around, there is no rhyme or reason to these streets at all. It is chaos, complete and utter chaos. And
This is beautiful. It reminds me of the jungle.
And as Altan leads you along, you have no idea how he's guiding you.
I'm so glad I've got that city secrets back.
How long did it take you to figure out where you were going around?
Not too long. I grew up in a city smaller than this, but I definitely grew up on the street, so kind of learned how to find my way around. I lived here for years, not too long, but a few years, so I know it pretty well.
Gotta admit, I grew up on the streets as well, and I am absolutely lost here. I used to know my way around the back alley, but there is just like people just get one of their children with a crayon and just go over some papyrus paper.
So as you guys are traveling through the chaos, you come across one area that's really easy to travel through. It's a bridge that goes across the E100. And to the left, you as you're crossing, you see the Genturum Sanctum, and it is a large building. You could probably call it a palace of sorts, and it has a green domed roof. And alabaster walls, and it is columned with rounded columns, and surrounded by a wall that borders the outside, but is open at the river. You guys eventually make your way up to it, and you see that the walls are about 15 feet high, thick, probably about 7 feet thick.
What does the entrance look like?
It's a gate. You see guards along the tower, or the parapets, and it's a walled gate. Wooden gate house itself, stone, and then it has like an iron grate that comes down in front of the gate as well.
I go up to the area. It's like, is it open?
Let me rephrase. It's a bronze grate.
Mm.
It is currently closed.
Oh, I go up to the gate and, hello?
And you see a guard there. It is a T'Chawi man. He says, "Hail, Tortle."
Hi, I come from distant lands. I'm just new to the city, and I heard that this place has artifacts they're artifacts I would love to take some time to study. How would one go about doing this?
Well, you've come at a bad time. Normally, we welcome visitors, but of late, there have been accusations and problems from other members of the city, and we're currently keeping our gates closed to visitors.
That is very sad. Is there any way possible to make an exception for just... I've come from far away. My home is in the western jungles, and I would love to take some time to study what you have here.
It is unlikely, but if you happen to come across the... where's the name? Kembish, or one of his higher servants, perhaps, but I'm not the one that can get you an audience.
I understand. Well, is there a possible way you can put me towards Kembish or one of the people I could talk to?
I just told you I couldn't.
I mean,
You have ears, right?
you said you couldn't grant me the audience. I was wondering if there's a way you could point me in where I might find him, and I'll see if I can.
You could find him here.
Maybe I'll just wait here till he comes out.
Good luck. He'll be here a while. Possibly weeks.
That's not fun.
But, perhaps if you can find a way to smooth things over, maybe you could find an audience. Or if you have information about what's going on.
I don't even know what's going on. Like I said, I'm new to this city.
I'll put it to you this way. People have accused us of having fugitives here that we do not have. And they are demanding that we open our gates at false accusation. And we're not going to submit to that.
What fugitives are they looking for?
Well, people say we have a halfling thief by the name of Liaru. Been missing for some time. But, and then we have, they also say we have a political refugee. Well, possibly. By the name of Bubu Kijinga. And Asar, you would know that name.
Oh. Zara just perks up. Yes.
Well, thank you for that information. I'm disappointed, but it is your place, and maybe, do you know anywhere else I might be able to have some fun studying some old artifacts?
You could try the Kaiboam College.
I will go try them. How do you get there? This place is a mess.
Well, if you go down this road here, and then take a left, and then a right, and then a left, and then a right, and then 3 lefts in a row, and then 2 more rights, you'll get there.
Thank you. And thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm sure he just kind of wanders off and just kind of looks behind him towards the city like, how in the world do people live here?
It's alright, I know where it is. So, that's funny, because I thought Liaru was arrested. That's the thief I hired.
Huh.
So if they think that she's still in there...
I want to know if, they don't actually have either of these 2 criminals in there. Seems a pretty simple fix on their part by just letting somebody of authority check around the place.
You'd think so, but pride is strong with these people.
Yes, it also, it's very easy to consider that over the fact that they may actually be hiding someone. Especially considered that anyone is going to take whatever upper hand they can to get ahead in the city. So if they feel like it gives them some sort of a leaning against the others by holding these 2 in their sanctum there, then it's entirely possible they have them. They just, I don't know, just a thought anyway.
But why would the sanctum be holding the thief that tried to steal something of value from this place?
That's an excellent question, but could be that they had some other use for him, that maybe they felt he needed to personally repay a debt. She needed to personally repay a debt. I apologize.
Well, I've got some questions for her if she's in there.
It seems like it would be very hard to get in there. At least the non-sneaky way.
How are the walls? Are they
They're 15 feet high.
15 feet high,
smooth?
7 feet thick. Smooth.
I mean,
I mean, as smooth as, a brick wall can be.
So try to sneak in at night, somehow clear up this disagreement, or somehow get into contact with Kembish and get permission to enter.
Yeah, how risky do we want to get? Because that seems like a very risky operation.
Who are the accusers?
I don't know.
So, if we need to smooth things over, it might be easier to just talk to them and convince them that these people are not there.
We do have those of us that are extremely convincing. That would be a safer option anyway.
Oh, I don't know anything about this other person, this political refugee.
I might know who they are.
Do tell.
At your own risk.
Well, it's not his real name if it is the same person that I'm thinking of. But what he's doing here, or if it really is him, I don't know. I'd like to talk to someone to say, what's going on? Why would he be hiding? Why would he be a political refugee?
So what are we doing? So do we move on, try to find another target? Do we try to smooth things over? Do we try to find more information?
I was excited for a field trip, and then
I noticed.
There's definitely a lot of valuable stuff in there.
Yes, but the longer we stand around, the more suspicious we look and the more we will be seen. So,
I
where
thought
are we
we were
going?
headed down the street, but
Yeah, I think we're walking towards the
College of Tyboam.
Probably are, but I'm still... The longer we're out, the more we will be seen. So, where are we going and what are we doing? We're just heading to the college? Are we trying to find another target? Or gather
the
information?
college might have interesting things.
That was one of the things that Mr. Den suggested.
We could ask around and see what's, what this, what these tensions are.
That might be easy at the college. We just got rejected at the gates of the sanctum, and so it'd be normal to ask questions about that.
I'm sure we can find someone who likes to gossip.
Easy.
So you guys head to the college, and as you get there, you see the large sandstone structure. This is also walled. Gates are open for people to come in, and it's a relatively simple building, 4 columns, with kind of a long building that extends back into the compound, and then juts out in an angle like a capital T. And as you guys see this, you see, mages, arcanists, scholars walking around this area. It seems to be a university of some sort. And as you begin to climb the steps, we're going to end the session there and pick up next time. Thanks for listening.
If you like listening to Rollfair, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Also, check out our merch store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com.